You're all seeing this, right? I've been seeing this the whole week. It's classic. It's so classic. It's such classic bandwagon bullshit. I've seen this done over and over in business where our competitors would run counter ads sometimes to knock off a client that happens to be pretty strong in a particular product, a particular service. You realize really quick what kind of a blitz campaign this is. So I'm going to take what I know in the corporate world in terms of marketing and advertising and smearing and going against our competitors to show you what's exactly happening. So this thing exists in the corporate world, but I'm seeing it carbon copied in politics, and it's called the bandwagon effect. It's pretty simple. In politics, the way it works is people start hearing that everyone is moving a certain way. This guy's winning, that guy is finished. The race is basically over. And everybody is told constantly that we've all made up our minds. And after people hear that shit enough, some people start to move to what they think has already been established. Back to the bandwagon effect. One of the most famous examples of this, and I had to look it up, was in 1948. President Harry Truman was supposed to lose the election in the United States, and the polls had Thomas Dewey winning. The media consensus was so strong that the Chicago Tribune at that time basically put in their header and printed, "Dewey defeats Truman." But here's the catch though. Truman actually won, okay? So keep that in mind as you watch this clip, very short clip from CTV here.
Jeremy, good morning. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Renee, look, deep concerns about Mr. Poilievre's leadership. And as you've touched on, some believe he will not be leading this party into the next election. Those are some of the takeaways from conversations CTV News had with 17 members of the Conservative caucus. These people are being kept anonymous because they were able to speak freely about their beliefs.
Okay, let's start it out. 17 unnamed, anonymous Conservative MPs with deep concerns about Pierre Poilievre. Support in the Atlantic has apparently cratered, and Pierre's just generally not liked. All these MPs are apparently worried they're going to lose their jobs. Who are they? We don't know. How many of those 17 actually think Pierre needs to resign? We don't know. How many are from Ontario? How many are from Atlantic Canada? How many are from Alberta? We don't know. Were these 17 people randomly picked from the Conservative Party and asked? No idea. Did CTV also talk to conservatives who were perfectly happy with Pierre Poilievre? No idea. What the rest of the Conservative caucus say? Again and again, we don't know. Anonymous sources have a place in journalism, obviously. Sometimes people can't speak publicly because they don't want to risk their job or position. Understandable. But there's a problem when you begin to narrative frame anonymous opinions as though it's some kind of proof. And we're all just told, hey, you're supposed to just believe. That's how it works, right? Let's jump into the polls. I've addressed this already with Nick Nanos, but let's get into the nitty gritty. This is where I think you people need to understand exactly what you're looking at and what exactly is being framed that's part of this bandwagon effect. Because when you hear 1,500 people were surveyed, it sounds like somebody went out, found randomly 1,500 people, probably Canadian, and asked them what they thought. But that's not necessarily what happened. Let's take Léger, for example. These people, these 1,500 people, are already part of Léger's online survey panel. They're not random. These are people that have subscribed to Léger to do these things. And then Léger adjusts the results afterward so that the group could better match Canadians on things like age, sex, and all that bullshit. Another polling, Abacus does the same thing. They also use their own online panels. Then they weigh the responses to better reflect the Canadian population with an algorithm that they think makes sense. I'm not saying polling is worthless. I didn't say that with Nick, and I'm not saying this now. But that's not the point here. The point is, this isn't the same thing as finding random people across the country and getting what they think. No, this is you going to a subgroup of subscribers that are part of your panel that are doing these surveys constantly. It's the same group of people. Even the pollsters tell you that. Just nobody reads it. These are online panels, not random people. And that matters. Let's say that that's okay. But that still doesn't magically prove that these people that are part of the panel think like everybody else across Canada. It just doesn't. That would be a much bigger assumption if you thought that they did. Then let's talk about Atlantic Canada. I'm going to go slowly here. CTV, which is known for being leftist or left-leaning in their reporting, says that in Atlantic Canada, conservative support is cratered.
In Atlantic Canada, support for the Conservative Party, MPs we spoke with believe is cratered.
Okay, let's look at the numbers that are underneath that statement. The Leger poll had 1,500 people that responded nationally. Sounds big. And this is the part that's so funny. But when you get to the Atlantic Canada numbers, are you ready for this? 86 people. 86. Same Leger poll. Conservatives are cratering in Atlantic Canada based on 86 people. Okay? Let's keep going. Because this is what I want all of you to see. We start with 1,500 Canadians. Sounds huge. Then we get to this big statement about Atlantic Canada, and we're talking about 86 decided respondents. But there's a difference between saying our Atlantic sample shows that liberals are way ahead and saying conservatives are cratered in Atlantic Canada. Those aren't the same thing. And then CTV brings back the Nanos poll. Remember the one that I had covered already? That I didn't get all the answers yet from Nick Nanos? We already dealt with that one. And you could find that in my timeline. Nick even responded to me, but he didn't answer all my questions. And then you got to take a step back. And you got to look at all this together. Anonymous MPs say he's in trouble. The polls say he's in trouble. Somebody knocking on doors apparently says people don't like him. A regional poll says conservatives are getting killed. Then there's a by-election that hasn't even happened yet. And now suddenly we're talking about whether or not Pierre is going to survive the next election. Are you shitting me? And this is how a bandwagon gets built. A pollster puts out a number, media turns it into a crisis or a perceived crisis. The anonymous MPs give the crisis a voice, even though we don't know who they are. Influencers on social media keep repeating it. And then everybody turns to everybody and points at everybody and says, look, proof. It's the same narrative, just different mouths. And suddenly, Poilievre's collapse is being reported by everybody as though it's already happened. It hasn't. Whether this is coordinated or not, at this point really doesn't matter to me. I think it is. But they're all reinforcing the same message. Pierre is sinking. His MPs are abandoning him left and right. He can't win. He can't win. He should resign. He should resign. Say it enough times, say it enough places, and people start mistaking repetition for reality. That's the bandwagon effect. And now we're all watching that narrative and that bandwagon being built in real time. And at the end of the day, it's just all assertions and conjecture.
Of course, they talk a lot, but they moving slow, too slow. Yeah, the vault is never low. Ghosting in the phantom, watch the city lights all glow. They watch my every move, they tryna copy all the codes. Came up from the bottom, now I'm reaping what I sowed. They try to catch the wave, but they just sinking down below. Yeah, stacking up the paper, yeah, the vault is never low. Ghosting in the phantom, watch the city lights all glow. From the bottom, now I'm reaping what I sowed. They try to catch the wave, but